Hey everybody, this is Tiffany Stuhr with WatchSong Medical Cannabis Education for Healthy Living. Um, I'd like to share with you today my epic flub with a big dosing miscalculation with medical cannabis. And I've resisted putting this information out there just because I don't want to scare people off. But really, this is about education and awareness about what could happen if you don't know what you're doing with dosing. So I'll just go ahead and put this out there. So I had been using cannabis for a little bit, and I was starting to make my own products with specifically RSO oil and using that as an edible. And I had made a new batch of RSO oil, and I'll tell you, I am a THC lightweight. It does not take me much to medicate with THC. And so therefore, before in my dosing with RSO oil, I get very specific with it. I have a little scale, and I'd put it in the capsule and weigh it out and make sure it was at that weight that I was expecting to get that particular dose. But I had made a new batch of RSO oil, and for whatever reason, it was just silly and careless. I decided not to put it into a capsule and weigh it. I just eyeballed it, and it was a brand new batch, so I did not know the strength of it. So I just eyeballed it and just put it in my mouth. And so I took this at night, and it was around, I think it was around 8 o'clock at night I took it. And, of course, when you take edibles, it takes a couple of hours to take effect. And I don't recall anything memorable that evening. I went to sleep as normal. But when I got up in the morning, I could not function. I could barely get out of bed. I was dizzy. I was lightheaded. My body wasn't functioning. So I was not feeling the THC high effect or psychoactive effect at that time, but my body was not functioning. And I had convinced myself that if I could just eat some food, that I would be okay. So I'm fumbling around in the kitchen trying to make myself some breakfast to eat. And before I know it, I'm standing up, and I've got ringing in my ears. Everything goes white. And the next thing I know, I wake up on the floor, and I'm in a pool of blood. So essentially, I had passed out from low blood pressure. And I had no idea how long I was lying there. The blood was like a size of a plate that I was lying in. The blood had already started to dry. My wound on my head was already not bleeding anymore. So essentially what happened for me is that I have low blood pressure already, and THC is a vasodilator, so it decreases blood pressure even more, and that's great if you have high blood pressure. But if you already have low blood pressure, that is not a great thing, as I can attest. That story gets a good laugh, and I've got a good scar on my brow to prove it. But the bottom line is, all joking aside, is that it was dangerous for me. Taking too much THC was dangerous for me, and I have heard stories of where it's been dangerous for other people as well. So this just brings home the point of needing to know what you're doing, especially when you're starting off, especially when you don't know how certain doses affect you, needing to start with a really low dose and slowly working your way up and knowing exactly what you're putting into your body. People get into trouble with edibles all the time, especially edibles, because when you ingest THC through your digestive tract, THC gets converted into a different metabolite that is an even more potent form of THC. And you couple that with it taking 2 to 3 hours to take effect. People don't think that it's working for them, so they take more, and before they know it, that first dose is hitting them, and oh crap, they took another dose. So this just brings home the point of how important and vital education is. If you are interested in learning more about dosing, how to dose up safely and comfortably to avoid that huge misstep and miscalculation that I made, I encourage you to educate yourself. I am launching a workshop here to do just that, to teach people how to medicate with cannabis safely and comfortably. That's coming up really quickly on November 16th. You can check out the registration details for that workshop in the link that I've provided in the post. And I'd also love to hear your dosing flubs. They're always good for a good laugh, a good chuckle, it seems. But we just need to understand the importance and the danger of that as well. So in the comments, please feel free to share your experience. And I thank you for tuning in today, and many blessings to you. Take care. Bye-bye.